Hey y'all, so a couple bee inspections today. I'll be inspecting this hive that is right below me. This is the package that I installed this spring. They killed their queen pretty early for a package. I mean, it's not rare for them to supersede their queen by any means, but they did it just earlier than I would have expected them to. They had built out comb, and honestly, I thought the comb was built out really nicely and her laying pattern was really good. I was really impressed with it, but there was something about her that they didn't like, most likely because it just wasn't their queen that they made. You know, these bee producers, they will just scoop 3 pounds of bees into a container and put a queen that they have mated in there with all these other bees, and so it's kind of like a misfit from the get-go, but they killed her a little earlier than I would have expected. So it's been over a week since I've been in this hive, been out of town, so I want to get this hive inspected today. And then I have a small nuke that's over on the other side that I also want to inspect. So the swarm that I caught that's over here in a 5-frame nuke, that one will be going into a 10-frame tomorrow. I wanted to get that done on Friday, but the beekeeping supply stores close at 4 and I didn't get back in town until about 4:15, so I wasn't able to get that equipment. But I initially considered the other nuke over there that is a 3-frame split for my big hive. I considered doing the newspaper method with that swarm over there, and I went through there and I couldn't find the queen, but I just had this like feeling that they're not queenless. It just, like, there were all these little things that I was just like, I just don't know. So I went back through there and I ended up finding the queen. She didn't look mated to me, but at this point they should have had enough time to get mated, and if I go in there and I find these queens and they look mated, I would like to mark them. And even in this hive, I'd like to mark them just so that I know that they're this year's queens and they are their mated queens. I won't mark them probably if they're not mated. There's pros and cons to marking virgin queens. Some people say it doesn't matter. It's just all a personal preference, but at this point they should be mated, and if they're not, I need to really consider ordering some queens. So that's really all that I'm gonna have on this bee video for today. It should be relatively quick. I don't imagine that this hive is too built out, too much further along, but it has been a little over a week, so we'll see what we find when we get in there. I also got a new hood, which I am pretty excited about. It is a clear visor here. Eggs can be really difficult to see, no matter if you have 20/20 vision. I have 20/20 vision, and let me get this zipped up. I have 20/20 vision, and I still struggle to see eggs sometime in certain lighting. So I was very happy when I saw that Flo had these clear view hoods. This hive hasn't really propolized on the lids or anything like that yet, which is nice. Makes getting into these hives a little bit easier. My sugar water's almost gone. Someone responded in the last video and was like, why would you feed your bees? I only feed my bees in the fall. Well, installing a package, they do need feed because they need to build all of their comb, especially in foundationless, like I'm using foundationless frames. They need all the help that they can get. So my established colony, I have not fed this year, but in order to get them established, in order for them to build comb and just kind of get ramped up, I do feed them. Some people don't feed them. There's a lot of people that don't like to feed their bees. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Do whatever you want. could have a little bit of propolis. Not too much, but a little bit. These bees are real calm. They were calm when I was in here last time. I have some friends that, some beekeeping friends that were posting some videos of them getting into the hives as of late. And we've had crummy weather. It's been rainy, it's overcast. And those people that have a bunch of hives, they just kind of have to get into these hives, you know, when they can. And he had some spicy bees. It just now got overcast. Otherwise today it's been really nice. I'm not gonna lie, I really like working hives. When they're new, they're awesome. It's fun to kind of see what they're working on, what they've got going on. They're real chill because they're not big enough to be really defensive at all. I'm gonna put, I think when I go to put some more, put another box on this hive, I think that I'm gonna go with the medium. I want to harvest some honey with comb. So that is my plan as of now for this hive. Let's see if we can find the queen. I saw the virgin queen in here last week. They had 3 queen cells. Try to get down here so you can see. Put my camera in a little bit of a different spot. Really calm bees. I didn't see any eggs on that frame. I'm not seeing any eggs on this frame either. I did see 2 dead queens on the ground in front of this hive yesterday when I was weeding. So and I know I let them raise their own queens. They had 2 queen cells. No, 3 queen cells when I inspected them last. All of the bees have hatched that the original queen that came with the package laid, which is honestly really a bummer because I thought her laying pattern was really nice. Obviously, the bees know best. Obviously, there was something going on with her, or they just didn't like her for whatever reason. So, but right now, these bees that she produced, I'm really liking them because they sure are chill. And I have no idea what this queen looks like because they created their own. I know what the one that I saw, the virgin queen, looks like, but want to see? I'm working finding the queen. I saw the virgin in here last week, but there she is, look.
Oh, I'll be damned.
I don't see any eggs though, but she definitely, oh yeah, I do. She's definitely mated. Yeah! She's about to walk to this other side. I'm gonna show it on the video, but these queens are the easiest ones to find. And this is not the virgin that I saw in there last week, so pretty cool. Right here by my index finger. So much bigger than every other bee. The ones that have the golden abdomen without stripes are always the easiest to see. And I guess she just hasn't made it to some of these first frames. After I didn't see any eggs on these first frames, all I cared about at that point was finding the queen. So now that I've found her, I'm going back and looking for eggs. In brand new foundation like this, eggs can be super hard to see. And because they're so tiny and they're so white. I'm gonna see here in just a second. I can see if they are straight up or not. Nope, they're not. So they're probably about 3 days old at this point, 2 or 3. Okay, well, she's pretty. She's kind of a skinny queen. But she's definitely mated. So none of these bees are her offspring yet. Because she is open mated, we don't have problems with Africanized bees here. But because I allow her to open mate, I will pay very close attention to this next round of bees that comes out of this hive to make sure that they are in fact just as calm as these bees. This is a very calm hive. At this point, my inspection on this hive is over. I can see her little abdomen. She's in these ball of bees right here. And I just want to make sure that I can see her when I go to put these bees back in the hive. So that I know where she is, so that I don't inadvertently harm her. But you can see how calm these bees are. Really like the temperament. I'll pay attention to their brood and see if they have some hygienic behavior with capping and uncapping, that kind of deal. All right, she's back where I want her, so I'm going to lower her in here. Forgot I was gonna mark her. I got a little concerned there when I didn't see eggs, and I totally forgot to mark. Okay, anyways, let's go over here. And this is a little 3-colony split. It is ill-advised to do a 3-colony split, but I did it anyways. And I saw a virgin queen in here last week. I do not like having a hive over here. I don't like having a hive over here with my new stuff and this tree, but this is really the only other good place for this hive. So I still have sugar water in there. So I'm gonna take this top off. And look for the queen. It's not real common. But you'll find her on the lid, but it's certainly not unheard of. I had some pennies on this hive for some ventilation. I don't know where the other two went, but I'll work on finding those after. This hive is way more defensive. This is from my original hive though. It's a 5-frame nuke, 3-frame split. Let's start over here and see what they got going. They do have some comb built over here, so that's good. This is very hard to work with this right here. Not my best idea, but I did have to get these nettings up. Awkward angle, it's a good thing. This frame shouldn't be that heavy. I'm gonna try to hold this where you guys can see, but this is a very awkward spot for my camera too. Let me actually move the camera up. My number one goal in this inspection is to find the queen. She was striped like the rest of them. So she might be a little bit more difficult to find. This hive actually stung Tommy yesterday. So when this queen unprompted, so we were back here actually doing this netting that you see right behind me. And one just came up and popped Tommy. Now we were in their business a little bit, but not anything significant. And again, these were from my original hive. And so if I don't end up liking you can see the drastic difference. And like when I smoke these, they respond to it. As opposed to that other hive, they didn't really care. I did do a mite treatment on this hive. See this one? It's in my grill. I did do a mite treatment on this hive before I left and went out of town. And I can see a lot of mite drop on the bottom here. So I do love that. I decided to treat all my hives. I treat with oxalic acid vapor. And it was perfect because they were broodless. This is a frame from my other hive. I've looked at so many queens lately and so many. There's no way that can be charged. So many queens lately that I can't remember. I'm pretty sure she was striped. And while this hive isn't like too aggressive or anything, they're in my grill. And so this is a for sure requeening thinker. I do not see her, but I'm just taking my time. There she is. Can you see her down the bottom of the frame here? She's right there. She's already got some tattered wings. Interesting. Can you see her? I'll put a circle up on the screen, but she's right here. And she is striped. And she definitely looks mated. All right, so those are the two inspections that I wanted to get done today. Pleased with both. They both have laying queens. This last hive, I just kept looking at her, and I wanted to see kind of how she was acting. And on the periphery where there should be, it should be like a rainbow of honey. I couldn't see any eggs, and there's a lot of bees on a lot of frames. So once I kind of blew them out of the way a little bit, I could see that she'd been laying eggs, but I could tell her wings are tattered. So that's very interesting to me. It could be after I did the split and I released her. They could have done that to her, but it was a little bit strange because I know she was a virgin in there. Obviously her wings aren't affecting her, but I didn't notice that her wings were like that when I saw her in there a week ago as a virgin. So that's interesting to me, but I spent a lot of time just sitting there and watching her because I just wanted to see how she was acting. I wanted to see how the bees were reacting to her, and that kind of thing. But this hive should start to explode here before too long, as they have a laying queen. So I'm very happy about that. I think we will be able to have successfully made a 3-frame split. And so that makes me happy inside. 3-frame split, it really isn't, it's not recommended. A 5-frame split is generally recommended, but I really want honey from my big hive this year, and so I wanted to do a small split. I thought that I could, combine, do a newspaper method or something like that if something didn't work out with this 3-frame split. But it seems like it is working out on a large scale, on a commercial large scale. Probably this is not something that you could get away with. I did baby them, I did feed them, and I did make sure that they had a queen. I verified there was a virgin queen in there. I verified now that she is mated, and I verified that there are eggs. So I will check on this hive again in 7 days and see how they're doing along with this hive over here. Next time I'm in here, these hives should have a lot of capped brood. It's a little bit easier to see a laying pattern for the queens when you can see the capped brood. So this visor certainly helped. There's a little bit of a glare, but the visor definitely helped with the visualization of the eggs when I was looking for them, because it can be so hard on brand new comb, and it can just be hard anytime. Like on old dirty comb, it can be hard. On black foundation, black plastic foundation frames, it's really easy. That's probably why people use those. I'm not a big plastic person, but this get all the way. This nuke over here, that is a swarm catch. They have black plastic foundations because I didn't have any foundations on me, and I didn't want to take the time to put the wooden ones together because I needed to just get the swarm and get it in a box with pre-waxed foundations that I didn't have to put together. And so the answer to that was the black foundation. And you know what? It gives me an opportunity. I wouldn't normally want to use plastic, but it is food grade plastic, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Drop the comments below if you're a beekeeper and what kind of foundation you prefer. I really prefer to allow them to just build out all their own comb, but in this instance, I didn't have that luxury, and I guess I could have, but I really was concerned with how long the swarm had been in the tree, and I didn't want to risk it, so I just got the quickest thing possible. But let me know in the comments if you're a beekeeper, what do you prefer? Do you prefer foundationless to allow them to make all their own comb? Do you prefer wax foundation? Do you prefer black plastic foundation, white plastic foundation? What do you prefer? I would be very interested to know what everybody else is doing. But yeah, that is all that I have for this video. I will be putting this nuke in a full tin frame box tomorrow when I can go get the equipment, and I will video that for you guys as well. So right now, that is all that I have for you guys for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.